live on a Friday.
Welcome on a Friday. New Leaf News presents the Legends Clubhouse. I am Bobby Kaboose. As always, here is my PIC for this show, Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Oh shit! I almost died. Just they forgot to
Yeah.
take the bone out the water. No though,
Oh, you're
but we're
all the water.
dude, for real, dude. So we are here on a Friday. We had it fucking blows because we were just talking about it. How maybe eventually we'll do like the everyday shows, but the fucking Knicks
Mhm.
game. That shit was
Yeah,
insane, and it's even more funny because the game was on Wednesday. We don't have a show on Thursday, so it's like there's not like an immediate reaction.
dude. It's okay, man. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We did enough. But hey, get over here. Sorry, that's my dog getting into an area that he's not supposed to get into. But
Ooh.
anyway, we're here live on a Friday.
Mm.
It's Memorial Day, leading up to Memorial Day weekend. People's got a 3-day weekend. It doesn't matter to you. You have a 365-day weekend. Um, but yeah, man, we don't get the initial reactions from the Knicks, but I frickin' turned the game off, dude. Like you said right before the show, like it was like what 17 with 5 minutes left or so. I probably
Mhm.
turned it around that point, maybe even a little earlier, and I'm fucking pissed that I missed that because from everything I saw, it was absolutely epic.
Bro, they scored in like that little 5 minute stretch. They scored like 31 points. It's even
Yeah.
more crazy too because the lead up, Jalen Brunson picks up his fifth foul, and then
Mhm.
best player going to the bench. You're like, okay, well here's where Indy makes their run. The complete opposite. The Knicks went on a
Yeah.
14-0 lead the second he went to the bench, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna cruise, and then Indy's gonna make their adjustments and bounce back game two, and then Aaron fucking Neesmith, 6 for 6 from three from downtown just in the fourth quarter. He scored the most points in a 5 minute stretch in any playoff game like ever. It was disgusting.
Is he like the great grandson of James Naismith,
I don't know. That's a really
who
good question.
created the ball or created? They're spelled different, but
Yeah, who
yeah,
created that?
yeah. Who just put like some peach baskets on the wall
And created
and we're just
basketball.
yeah. Yeah, man. I know that. I know the fucking history. I did a report in high school about it.
Did you
So
really?
don't come at me. But hey, we're gonna have a different NBA champion. I think in the 7th or 8th year in a row,
Yeah.
which I don't know if it ever has happened in the NBA.
Mm-mm.
So, talk about like parity in the NBA finally after 80 years, or whatever the fuck, dude. Like I don't think I've ever seen a stretch like this where it's been, I mean, I was born in the 80s, right? So, obviously I didn't pay attention then because it was late 80s, but you had your Celtics and Lakers dynasties, then you had the Pistons, then you had the Bulls,
Mm-hmm.
then back to the Lakers, Celtics, and
The Spurs dominated for a little bit.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Spurs were in and out, and so yeah, it's crazy to see. It's a good thing. Like these super teams are kind of fading out, and
Mm.
now you just have all around better talented teams. And I think it's good for the NBA.
Yeah.
Like there should be you shouldn't be able to, in which this is the case. Since I've ever watched it, you can literally narrow it down to 3 to 4 teams that have a chance to win.
Mm.
Now that field has opened up a little bit.
100%. And it's like when I know you're not a fan of him, but like when LeBron went back to Cleveland, it's like, okay, well, LeBron's going to represent the Eastern Conference for the next 8 years in the finals. When he went to Miami and then goes back to Cleveland, the 8 straight finals per se. It's like, okay, well, who's he going to face in the West? Or
Hmm.
like when KD went to the Warriors, it's like, okay, well, can anybody get a game or two? And then you have the
Right.
year where the Rockets forced Game 7, but there was no Chris Paul and all that jazz. But
Yeah.
I digress. I agree with you
Yeah.
100%.
You basically were like, who is LeBron going to lose to in the finals? That's what it came down to because he does have a losing record, unlike my boy MJ, who may have never lost in the finals, or at
I
least
get
a
it. Yeah.
series. Just saying, 6 and
Hey,
0,
6-0. Yeah.
pretty good, pretty good,
I don't know.
pretty good.
I didn't know he had the most rings ever. But once again, we can get into. I can go.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Because he also only really played like a minimal time in the league compared to other people.
Hey,
He had a couple of retirements in there.
don't don't be a. I was about to say don't be a gambling tweaker, but that's
Yeah,
rude.
who are you talking about? Who are you
Yeah.
talking to?
Uh, no, but with it, being on a Friday, Memorial Day,
Yeah.
and all that jazz, um, because it is Friday, hold on, I just thought about this. Isn't there like a WWE main event, or a thingy this weekend, or is it next weekend?
Saturday night main event is tomorrow, and the card is actually pretty nice. Like it should be. I'm actually looking forward to the show. It's Logan Paul's challenging Jey Uso for the world title. Damian Priest and what's his name, Drew McIntyre are fighting in a cage. We have CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus the new team of Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, which I have a feeling, throw this out there, I have a feeling that Sami Zayn is going to turn on CM Punk and join them. Or there's going to be a third guy, but I think it's going to be Sammy. And then I think there's a couple other matches, but it's rounded out to be a pretty good show.
I remember after, like Backlash and stuff like that, when it's like, okay, well, R-Truth's gonna face Cena. When it got announced that it was a non-title, when I saw it was a non-title match, I was like, okay, well then what's the point?
But dude, I hope R-Truth might win, man. That's his childhood hero.
He's gonna beat some sense into him.
Dude, yeah, it's like the student becomes the teacher, and R-Truth might have. I mean, R-Truth's like a 51 time 24/7 champion. So
what the fuck did he call it back in the day? 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95.
Yeah, and just a bunch of freaking numbers.
Dude, for real.
But yeah, it is Memorial Day weekend. And a lot of people do have like the traveling plans and shit like that, and people make a a nice little getaway or whatever. What like you got anything planned this weekend? Or
I will be sitting right here watching, once again, Mr. Sports Ball. We got this one. For as much as I wasn't a fan of baseball, like growing up stuff like that, I'm like, it's boring. Because I've grown into a sports junkie. The availability of it is so nice because we got games that their opening pitch is at like 12:30, so I can just watch baseball all damn day.
I'm just gonna start calling you Lieutenant Dan because you just sit there all the time. And not do shit. Dude, I honestly think that door just leads to the outside, and that's all that's your whole, you probably have a bathroom right out off the camera, behind the camera, maybe a shower,
Yeah, bro, there's a porta potty outside. Dude,
yeah. Oh, yeah, I got a porta potty. Bro. You probably just in that one room shack, dude.
It's so funny because I saw the most harmless thing. I was scrolling on TikTok the other day, and it was like, I'm gonna set you up with a harmless prank for life. This dude was talking about how one of his friends, he went into just a random job site porta potty and just scribbled on it, "Send me pictures of your poop," and then wrote his friend's number. And so every couple weeks, someone will just send his boy a picture of him taking a deuce, and it's like, bro, I would beat the shit out of my boy if he.
That's like.
Go ahead.
That's like changing your number type shit, dude.
Dude,
like,
for fucking real.
As long as that number is up there, he's gonna get something.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah, that's changing number status, dude. Or like fuck, dude. Like, and that's like, I think it's so disgusting seeing other people's shit.
Dude,
like,
for real.
it's fucking disgusting to me.
One of my boys, he randomly sent me a snap, and I was like, oh, I wonder what he. And it's just a picture of just once again just a shit, and I'm like, I immediately called him and said, bro, you do that shit again, you're fucking done. Do
Yeah,
not send me that
dude,
stuff.
I had a buddy back in the day that this girl apparently didn't treat him very well. So
Oh
he had
lord.
ended up he took a shit and sent her, and this is like way before iPhones and shit. We probably had flip phones and shit. He took a picture of his shit and sent it to her, and she's like, "What's this?" And he said, "It's you," and never talked to her again. But
It's
yeah.
you.
But no, man, Memorial Day
That's
weekend,
funny.
you're supposed to at least have some plans, man. You can't just be rolling around in your wheelchair, Lieutenant Dan. So, tonight we're going to have some drinks with some friends.
Mm.
And then tomorrow we're going to be going over to Melvin Troy's house. Um, my co-host for 64-bit Legends and one of our New Leaf News associates. Um Sunday morning I'm going golfing. And then we got, and then Monday I'm going to probably have some kind of barbecue at the woman's parents' house.
Love
So
that.
my weekend is jam packed with fun.
With
With
fun.
fun, Lawson.
Hold
With
on.
fun.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What's the best dish at a barbecue for you?
Like, are you talking like main, like
Either
that you
or.
actually put on the grill, or
Either
like a
or.
side?
Both.
Uh, okay. So the best thing you can grill, I mean, okay, it depends. It depends on the situation, right? If I'm grilling for me and the Lex Express, we are, I'll probably grill, like steaks or something,
Mhm.
obviously like something, more high class. But if it's a party or something, I'm good with brats, with burgers, with hot dogs, whatever, dude. Just like my boy is, he's a grill master, so
Mhm.
like it's all, like he takes that shit serious. That and slow cooking, oh my God, dude, like he is phenomenal.
Mhm.
As far as side dishes go, um, a either like a homemade like queso dip
Mhm.
or a homemade buffalo chicken dip. One of those
Right.
is money.
Mhm. The see the thing that you could differentiate when it comes to like barbecuing is I agree with you where there's just your classic hot dogs, hamburgers, brats, all that jazz, and then there's the slow cooking stuff where you get your brisket or your pulled pork or whatever.
Yeah,
One of my boys,
yeah,
he's the same way. Like he'll just post pictures in our group chat. Like I'm about to slam this bitch in the smoker for 12 hours, and we're like, shit, bro, that sounds fucking delicious.
yeah, dude, and especially when like the meat just like falls off and it's so tender and
I've
and
seen
and
it,
sliced right, and oh my God.
it's kind of like those
Uh,
videos on social media where they'll pick up like a giant turkey leg and just smack it once, and all the shells
yeah,
just fall off the bone. Hmm.
yeah, man. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, so we're watching TV last night, right? And we're watching Bobby's World, the great cartoon from we've been on this Bobby's World kick, dude, like for a couple months now. Like it's just something easy to go to sleep to,
Hmm.
So I just need noise while I initially fall asleep, and then I can turn at least that off and keep the fan on to have at least a little bit of white noise, whatever, when I sleep.
Hmm.
Anyway, um, the episode that we're watching, Bobby, his older sister, is in a play, right? And they're doing Little Red Riding Hood. So like she's Red or whatever her name is.
Hmm.
And she goes into the house with the wolf, as the grandma. We all know the story, right? So Bobby's fucking freaking out, and he's like, Kelly, it's the wolf, and like his dad has to fucking take him out and stuff. So after the show, they show him that the wolf takes off his head, it's a person, right?
Hmm.
So the Lex Express she had asked me, she's like, had was that like you at I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. I know you were there
Oh my
probably
god.
within the last couple of weeks for just somebody that you know's birthday. Um, by the way, did you win any tickets or anything? Skee ball? Did you have fun? Have a slice of pizza?
First of all, I feel like all of those those like arcade places, they're like, all right, I got 750,000 tickets, man. The best we can do the best we can do is an eraser and a Tootsie Pop. Like, dude, like I don't know how many tickets you want me to win, bro. Like, you
How do
could,
I how do I get that PS5? Oh, I
dude,
need 6 million tickets. Oh, okay.
bro, you could roll up to the counter like 2.3 mil deep. All right, I'm about to get everything, dude. The best we can do is a fucking pop on pencil top, an eraser, and a fucking Tootsie Roll. Like that's
So
all we can
is
do
that
for
what
you.
you got at that birthday party that you were telling me about a couple weeks ago?
No, I got a ring pop.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Actually, she did too. She had one the other day. But anyway, so there's a story that I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I ever told you that I even worked there.
Real
I
quick
worked there
though,
when I was.
the chat's going crazy to see if you were the mouse.
That's where I'm going at. That's where
Oh
I'm getting
my
at, man.
god.
So I worked there when I was 16, right? I was a junior in high school. And I actually worked there and a Coney Island. I don't know if you have Coney Island down in Georgia,
No,
but
but I've heard of
Coney
it.
Island's like a it's if you're not familiar, it's like a Ram's Horn type diner place, but they're very popular here in Michigan.
Mhm.
And there's like multiple. There's National Coney Island, there's Leo's, there's whatever. There's a bunch of them. Insert name here, Coney Island, right? So anyway, I worked at both at one point, and then the basketball season was coming up. So um, I needed to make a decision, and I was making more money at Chuck E. Cheese, and I had just started there, and I was like, okay, there was a couple people that I went to high school with that worked there as well. So I was like, I'll stay with Chuck E. Cheese. So I was hired in as a cook, right? And I am not a chef, I am not a cook. I can microwave, I can make certain things, but I'm not crazy good in the kitchen, right?
Mhm.
So basically I had to make pizza and hot dogs. Like I just run it through the fucking thing. I had to wear these very embarrassing cotton shorts that were, now it's kind of a style, but back then, we wore the baggy shorts,
Mm.
you see the NBA memes all the time, like of fucking, what's his name, Isaiah Thomas with the shorts all the way down to his ankles. I wasn't that bad, but like the shorts definitely had to go past your knee, right? So, and you and I are tall, so that's not a big
Yeah.
deal, right? So, um, I didn't have my license at the time, so this is all like building up to shit. So I just keep getting sidetracked. But I uh, I didn't have my license, so one of my friends would have to always drive me to work, and it was 2 minutes away, so they didn't have a problem. But so I would always wear like snap up pants or athletic pants or whatever over the shorts that I had to wear because they're like cotton and they were like really embarrassing looking shorts, right? And you had to wear tall white like knee high white socks with them. So you got you got your knee high socks that go right underneath the knee. Then you have kneecap and probably that much thigh, and then my shorts.
I'm surprised they didn't
And
ask you to wear
so,
suspenders.
dude, unbelievable. Um, so one day my buddy's outside waiting for me to take me to work, and I'm running late because I can't fucking find any athletic pants. So I'm like, fuck it, I gotta go out and get in his car, in these shorts. So I walk out there, get in his car, and I sit down. And naturally, when you sit down, your shorts come back up, dude. I thought, one of my ball sack or I thought one of my balls were gonna drop out of my shorts because they were so fucking short. But my buddy was just fucking laugh at me the whole goddamn ride there, and
Right.
I'm like, dude, this sucks.
Mm.
So anyway, like I said, I was a cook there, and at one point there the rat, Chucky, the guy that was in the suit didn't show up to work or he called off. So they were like, Bobby, you got to be in the rat suit. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, you got to, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So, okay, I'm like, all right, whatever. So I get in the fucking costume and, I put the fucking head on, dude. And I don't know have you ever been in a mascot costume or
No,
suit?
one of my boys in high school, he was like our mascot at the football games, and he was like, "Bro, it's hot as shit in there."
Dude, so not only is it hot as shit, but it like depending on how the head is positioned, it's kind of hard to see. Like for Chucky, you're like looking through the mouth, but you have to look like on a downward angle.
Yeah,
So like you can't
you
see
can't look
eye
straight. You
level.
gotta look down.
Yes, and you can't look up. So, and it's kind of hard to look directly down. So like you don't see kind of what's in front of you. You kind of see what's like maybe like 3 to 5 feet in front of you.
Mm.
And this will come into play. Um, so I dress up in this fucking rat costume, right? And my manager goes, like, let me see some dance moves. Like, and I'm like, what? And like, they're like, you're gonna have to go out there and like dance and entertain these kids. And I'm like, what? And so like I'm 16 at the time, man. Like and like then you don't have the confidence you have as an adult. Like you're still somewhat shy doing certain things. Like because you want to be cool, right?
Yeah,
Like every kid wants to be cool and they don't want to be made fun of.
and
And
now I'm in
I
this
mean,
fucking. Continue. I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
I was gonna
Uh,
say it's way worse now because social media and shit. I
yeah,
didn't have to worry about that, dude. We
and
had AOL Instant Messenger. We didn't have anything else. So.
for you, it's like
Um,
now I'm in this fucking mouse suit. Now I gotta fucking do the I gotta do the 2-step and the cha-cha slider with these fucking kids. I don't want to do that shit.
right, and exactly, and like, and I'll just say this right now: I am a phenomenal dancer now. When I was 16, not so much because I didn't have confidence and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to look stupid. So she's like, "Let me see your dance move." So like, I kind of do like this jump, and I'm like, this type thing. And she's like, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm like,
I
"I
don't
don't
fucking
know."
know what you want from me.
I really don't know. Like, do you want me to do the Running Man? Like, fuck, like I don't know, dude. So, um, so anyway, I go out there, right, and I'm walking around as Chucky, and there's a birthday party going on. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's a great spot for Chucky to appear. So I go over there and side note, no one told me about the bodyguard rule. And the bodyguard rule is basically they don't have official bodyguards, which they should call the hoss, but they don't have a hoss.
Mhm.
So what they do is basically it's just another 16-year-old employee that just walks you around and makes sure you're okay. Well, I didn't know this rule, so I go into this party of like 30 to 40 kids, and I'm, doing my thing, like, dude, hey,
Chucking it
hi,
up.
yeah, chucking it up. I'm chucking it up, right? I'm chucking it up. Well, so, I go do my waves, smacking babies and kissing, whatever, babies. I don't know the saying. But anyway, I'm walking and all of a sudden I feel my legs getting heavy and I'm like, the fuck, dude? Like I'm an athlete. I shouldn't be winded. I'm good. And I like again, it's hard to look directly down. So I'm like, dude, why are my legs getting so I look down and there's like two kids on each one of my legs, dude, like just strapping me, like hugging me like a tree. And I'm like, the fuck, dude. So like I'm looking down and I stop moving, and then I fucking feel this fucking thing, and I hit forward, right? And there's a fucking kid on my back, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like trying to grab my arms and shit, and so like there's like 5 kids on me, and then I look to my right and there's like a booth, like a table and a booth, and there's a kid standing on the booth, and he takes his hand and he puts it underneath the fucking mask around my throat. like around my throat, not around Chucky's throat. He gets his fucking little grubby ass hands underneath the fucking mask, and he's grabbing me like by my Adam's apple. So I fucking take my arm, and I'm still Chucky, so like the show's got to go on. Vince McMahon once said.
I can't beat the shit out of these kids and give Chucky a bad rap.
So I take my arm and I fucking karate chop his arm off, and like he fucking flares away. Then finally, the parents finally like see what's going on here, and they come over, and dude, I swear it seemed like it was like 10 fucking kids that they took off me and just kept throwing off because they were trying. And then so I run, they finally get all these fucking kids off me. I run back to the kitchen. I fucking take the head off, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. And my manager comes up to me and she's like, no, actually, you have to switch outfits and go back out there. I'm like, switch outfits? The fuck does that mean? So apparently Chucky's got different outfits. He's got like a t-shirt, jersey, some other shit. So I had to put the jersey on. This time I go out there with a bodyguard.
Oh shit.
And walking around, and again, you cannot see directly underneath you, right? And the whole I didn't mention this before because it didn't come into play until now. So if you've ever worn a mascot suit, especially this Chuck E. Cheese one, obviously it's soft, but the head is hard, and so it doesn't cave in, right? And what's really hard is the fucking nose. Like the rest of it, like you could probably punch and not hurt, but if you punch the nose, it might hurt a little bit. So it's like punching a wall, So I got this big head on. I can't see, directly underneath me. I can see about, like I said, 3 to 5 feet, in front of me. So we're walking around. The bodyguard's walking me around, and one thing that Chucky likes to do, and Chucky might get reported on, is hugging little kids, right? So, they're like, oh, you got, kid wants a hug. Okay. Dude, not purposely, but I probably made 3 to 5 kids cry because when I would kneel down, again, I'm 6'2". I was probably, at the time, I was probably close to what I am now. I don't think I grew much after 16. But so I would go on to one knee and go down to hug them. I kept bashing these kids in the face with the nose on accident, and they kept crying. And I'm like, why are all these kids crying? And then I realized what was happening.
I'm beating the shit out of with my nose.
Yeah, I'm fucking headbutting these kids. But yeah, I was in the rat costume for 2 stints. For 2 stints, and I think I'm never doing this again. That I think, I don't know if I ever had a time after that. That's the time that I remember because it was so like horrid. I don't know if the 2 stints were just me getting attacked and then me going back out as with a bodyguard, or if it was actually 2 different. I know that those 2 things happened in the same day. I don't know if I was ever Chucky again because I told him, I was like, I am never doing this fucking again. You hired me as a cook. I'm not doing that. Because it was just an awful experience.
That's so funny how you had kids on both legs, one on your back, one on the table, and just fucking with the vice grip.
Dude, like, I'm like, how are you gonna try to choke out Chucky, bro? Like, it's probably not even your birthday. Like, imagine like if he actually choked me out. And I'm laying there, and the kid that his birthday is now scarred for life because Chucky just died.
His boy just killed Chucky.
Speaking of that, I'm listening to the radio, and this was around Christmas time, and they were talking about mall Santas and like just weird, like in general Christmas time stories, right? Like just odd things that happen. Well, I guess in the one of the radio hosts was saying that he grew up in New York, right? So one of I think it was a department store or something that his dad worked at, that in the 70s you know, they had the mall Santa or whatever, and the mall Santa ended up having a heart attack while he was there as Santa with kids in the line. And he ended up having a heart attack, and I think he may have died. And because I remember they were saying that there was a headline in the newspaper
Santa
about
died.
it. Yes.
Yo, imagine you tell your kid, "Hey, can you go get the paper from the end of the driveway?" He runs out there, picks it up. First thing, Santa's dead. He
Yeah.
just freaks out, runs back in the house.
Right. Like, oh my God, I'm not getting my presents. But like, yeah, I guess like,
That's
you know,
so fucking
for the
funny,
kids
dude.
that were there, it was very traumatic.
Bro, I see when you said that you turned and there's a kid on the table. I thought he was finna try and hit your ass with like a crossbody and would jump on your back, not just not do the
Yeah, he
cane fucking
choke
choke
slammed
grab,
me,
dude.
bro.
Dude, for real.
He fucking put his hand there, dude, and I thought it was fucking Kane. I was like,
Could you imagine you turn around the kids on the table like this with his
right, right, dude, like adjusting the glove, like
yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And the fact that the parents had to fucking throw these kids off, dude, they were like left and right,
Was
man. It was
throwing them off
quite.
is crazy. Just grab it.
Yeah,
Huh, huh,
I
huh.
wish, like, you know, I don't wish that I grew up with the social media and the iPhones and shit like that. How it is, how everyone's got a camera in their pocket now,
Yeah.
because you know we got away with a lot of shit, you know, back in the day, you
Right.
know, because we weren't always on camera, right? So, but that is one thing that I wish, because that would have
Gone
100%
viral.
been videotaped and 100% would have went viral, and you know I would have laughed because like, you know, it's me in the suit, but like I would be like, dude, that's fucking funny, you know.
You said there were like 8 kids just drooped on you.
Oh, dude, yeah, there was probably at one point there was probably between 5 and 8 kids
That's
on
insane.
me. And then like I said, the whole party was probably 40 kids. And like, so like not only are these kids attacking me, but there's like it's like the one against the gorilla. I was pretty much the gorilla against, you
They're
know, 40 kids.
they're surrounding you.
Like
They're enclosed.
I need to do the Donkey Kong like spin punch and just
Dude, for real.
you know, Super Smash Brothers their ass.
Need to go like Taz from fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%, man.
That's
Like
so
it
fucking
was funny. And
funny.
then when they made me fucking go back out, dude, I was like,
Dude, I
dude,
bet
you
you
gotta
were
be
so dude. For I would say,
oh man. And as a 16-year-old man, like I had like a little bit of a temper, and I'm like, dude, this is
fuck,
like
fuck this dumbass rat
yeah,
suit.
right, dude. And plus, dude, and you want to know what the funny thing is, man?
Yeah.
I only like the entire time I worked there, I only like the my tenure there was a month and a half long. Like I was only employed for a month and a half or something,
And you got
like
jumped.
maybe 2 months.
You got
I
jumped by a bunch of
and
kids second week.
right, and I got ended up getting fired, because like I said, I started basketball and I had to you know, choose which job I wanted. So I chose Chuck E. Cheese over the other one, because they were giving me more hours on the weekends and when I could actually work. So I told them I couldn't do anything during the week. I was like, I have basketball practice, I have games, like I'm not available during the week. So they ended up making a meeting for cooks about how to make breadsticks more efficient. And it was on a Thursday, and I was like, I can't make it to the meeting. I told the my manager, I was like, I can't make it. Like I have basketball practice. Like, and he's like, well, it's mandatory. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to be there. So you know, it was a mandatory meeting. I show up on Saturday for my shift, and they tell me I no longer am employed there. And I'm like, okay, see you later, dude. Like,
Uh, that's
fucking take your 650 an hour and shove it up your ass.
650 was that minimum wage back then?
No, no, dude. Minimum wage back then was 5.15.
I was gonna say
So
because when I was in my
now
teenage
it's $10
years,
now.
it's what?
I think it's like $10 now.
I remember in my teenage years, like I'm in my early 20s, so not that crazy long ago. I remember it
Dude,
was like
Don't lie, you're like, and you went to Chuck E. Cheese like 3 weeks ago.
It was like, I think minimum wage was like $7.50 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, damn, dude, that's it's so funny seeing, like, well, not funny, but seeing the amount of inflation and stuff. It's like, dude, if you work,
Yeah.
because I'm not saying you can make it on a minimum wage, but back then, if that's like your first job in high school or whatever, oh, you're chilling.
Yeah. So my first job, because Chuck E. Cheese was my third job.
Mm.
So my first job was at McDonald's, right? Like a typical fucking first kid job. I got it when I was 15. I actually the day I turned 15 is the first day I started working. So on my 15th birthday, I actually got hired about a month prior, but I had to wait until I was 15 because you had to be 15, and my mom wanted me to get a job the day I turned 15. So I was in, actually, I think McDonald's might have been my first interview too, and I got it. And anyway, um, this actually got brought up yesterday too because my niece mentioned she's only 13, but she's like, I want to get a job and, like, make some money or whatever. And we basically told her she's got to wait or whatever. But my girlfriend was like, what if she gets a job at McDonald's and she gets trained by the same guy that trained you? Because he is still there. He still works the drive-through. And the reason I bring this up is because when he trained me, he trained me on the drive-through at the first window where you collect the money and stuff and you take the order. Well, so I think it was my first or second day. It was probably my first day. I was giving change back to someone, and a dollar flew out of my hand, and it blew away. And the guy got pissed at me, and I'm like, shit, dude. Me, I'm like, it's a fucking dollar, right? Just get
Right.
over it. But like, on reverse, I've been like, what the fuck, dude? That was my dollar.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so this dude that trained me, he was like, I think he's a little slow. And he's like, basically like, my first McDonald's experience was when Ronald McDonald came to my elementary school. And I'm like,
No
what?
way.
And this dude at the time, he was probably mid 30s to 40.
So now bro's like in his 50s.
50s to 60, yeah. And he's still working at the same one. I mean, he did switch. I did see him at Burger King one time. Work.
Traitor.
He did yeah, and then he came back to McDonald's. But he went up to my store manager, bro, and he was like, straight up, dude, and I'm not lying and I'm not making this up. He straight up told her, like, almost in front of my face. He was like, I don't think this one's gonna make it. And I'm like,
fuck you,
what?
dude.
What? Like, this is your career, bro. Like, this is like a fucking very part-time job for me, and you don't think I'm gonna fucking make it? I'm like, you just told me that your first experience was Ronald McDonald coming to your elementary school fucking 30 years ago. Like, and you're still here.
That's so funny.
What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, because like in
So then they made me go clean the lobby.
That's funny. Yeah, we don't think this is gonna make it. Hey, dude, here's a broom. Go sweep some shit up.
Yeah, go do some shit while we figure something out. It's my first ever day at a job, dude. I'm nervous. Like, I want to do a good job and shit. And I'm like, this dude who, like, probably didn't get past elementary school. Like,
Ronald McDonald took him back.
Right. He recruited him from, like, he got an NIL deal, like, right away.
He got a full ride to Mickey D.
Yeah, dude, and he's still there, and I'm like, man, every time I go because he works the morning shift, right? And so every time I go there to get breakfast, like, he's still there, and
does he recognize you?
No, the Lex Express always asks. She's like, do you think he recognizes? I'm like, hell no, he doesn't recognize me.
Remember when you told me I couldn't make it when I was fucking 15?
Yeah. Look at me now, bitch.
I'm an internet sensation.
I had 10 views on YouTube, bro. How many views you got? He's like,
I
he's
can.
like, well, I actually, I went viral
He's the
with my, with my, with, with my reveal of the McBiscuit or
dude.
whatever the.
He's one of those people. He on TikTok he wears a GoPro and he does like he shows how he cooks McDonald's stuff in the
Yeah,
back. Yeah,
yeah, dude.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
100%, dude.
for first jobs. It's really interesting that like because when I was in middle school, I think once you
Oh
hit
God, I thought you were going in a way different direction. Not to
what you
cut you
think
off,
I was
man.
going.
I thought you were going with, oh, speaking
Speaking
of
of
first
first
job,
jobs, no,
it's awesome when you get a first job and you don't get paid for it. That's where I thought you were going, man. I thought
nah,
where you were
no,
going. So
no.
my bad. Continue with your story. I didn't mean to
Inter-
interrupt.
Interesting story, different day. The I remember in middle school, you're like 13, 14. You could work if you were like 13, 14, but you had to go to like the front office and get a work permit
Oh
and
yeah,
all that jazz.
before you're 18, you have to. Actually,
That
For
mm,
Michigan, like you couldn't before 14. I think 14 was the minimum age to work. But most places didn't hire at 14. Like most of the time, you had to either be 15, if not 16.
mm,
There was only a very minimal. But yeah, you would have to get a work permit because you have to go to school and to work a certain amount of hours, and I think it might be 40. Like
mm,
or you can work longer. There's a combination of hours, but you can work longer on the weekends. You can actually work an 8-hour shift on the weekends. I think like when when I was in school, actually, I think the law changed at one point. Because when I was 15, I remember, I worked to McDonald's until I was 16. Um, but towards the end of the school year, when I was 15, during the week, I could only work an hour and a half long shifts. And I was like, this is fucking pointless for even me to come here. Like they changed it so, but during the weekend, I could work longer.
yeah.
But yeah, I would work like 3 hour and a half or 2.5 hour shifts or whatever they were. It was under 3 hours. I know that. And I'm like, this is
So
stupid. Like,
your
this is
check's
a
like
waste of fucking time.
$60.
Right.
Well, you're not making dick.
I'm like, cool, I just made $10 and half of it's going to taxes.
Oh,
What the fuck is this?
oh, oh.
Thanks for my half off meal, bro. Yeah, and then half that money that I made goes to a number two or whatever the fuck I'm ordering, like for my lunch or my dinner.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Fuck.
Mr.
They're pimping
Kaboose,
the system, dude. They're pimping the system just like a content mill that we know.
dude, for real, pimping the system is crazy.
Oh yeah, it is, dude.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, it is.
I mean,
That's how. I mean, that like here at New Leaf, that's how we're gonna run our company, man. We just gotta screw everyone and just make money.
I mean, if
That's how good businesses work.
despite half it going to Uncle Sam and the other and a quarter, half of that, half that you got going to a number two, at least you profited like 40 cents.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm in the green.
Then you didn't need 1,000 views for it, but
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
100%, dude. I didn't need 1,000 views on it.
it's a real good. That's an awesome story. The fact that you went from Chuck E. Cheese to damn well, you went from McDonald's to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, when I tell you that I've been employed at over like 20 different spots in my
Yeah.
life, like I've had a lot of jobs. I always move to try to get better money. Like
Mm,
and then I get bored too. Like I get bored with shit. So like it's like, all right, once this thing that I'm doing as far as work wise
mm.
gets old to me, then I'm like, all right, I gotta challenge myself in some other way, um, and do something else. But yeah, man. Mickey D's was, and there was a cool little group of us, man. There was a couple people from a neighboring high school that worked there that was the same age. I had like 5 or 6 of my buddies from high school working there. So like every time you worked, like you'd be working with somebody you knew,
Yeah.
and like we were like a pretty cool little group
Mm.
that worked there. Except for the guy that trained me and a couple of the managers and stuff, but.
I remember one of my boys, his first job, he was working at Dairy Queen, and the Dairy Queen was like right next to my house. So for a couple months, he was just living with us basically, right? And so this one time, he called me and he said, "I think I'm finna get fired." I'm like, "What did you do?" And he said, "Bro, someone said something to me he said the right thing on the wrong day, and I just beat somebody's ass in the drive-through." I'm like, "What do you mean you got in a fight at your job?" He said, "Dude, I was fucking over the intercom taking somebody's order, and then he gets up to the first window with an attitude, and I'm already fucking pissed about just some other shit." And then he said, "I bet you won't fucking pull up. I bet you won't pull up to the wait spot." He said, "Bet." He said he took the headset off, sat on the counter, hopped the fucking counter, opened the door, walked outside. He said the dude opened his door. He didn't even get out the car. My boy hit him like a 4-piece combo, bro. Closed the door and dipped. I'm like, how the
Oh
fuck?
God,
I said, "I thought the customer was always right." He said, "Nah, fuck that."
dude, that's awesome. I wish I could do that.
It was,
There's so many people that like you wish, but now it's got to be even worse, dude. Like
yeah.
now back when I worked there, not to say I would go back and work there again, but like I would be almost terrified to work at a fast food
Mm,
restaurant now, or like really kind of anything that teenagers can go to freely because you're gonna end up in somebody's video. They're gonna do something stupid through the drive-through, throw a
right.
fucking pop shake at you or some shit just to get views. And I'm like, dude, like fuck that. Like I
Or like you're gonna end up on TikTok when they order like just a vanilla cone and they just grab it by the ice cream. They don't grab it by the fucking cone just to be like some
yeah.
goober shit, dude.
Yeah, or like I just saw a dude like walk in. I saw a video on Instagram that he walked into was it McDonald's or Burger King or something, and their spicy nuggets were too spicy, and he legit fucking smacked the shit out of the manager, and I'm like, fuck
I,
this, dude.
I've
Like,
I've seen clips of people like order a large fry, wait like 2 minutes, not even, and then just walk behind the counter and just go get it themselves. So I'm like, yo, what?
yeah, yeah. What the fuck, dude? Like, people are fucking insane.
I
Like
mean,
they just feel like entitled to do shit, and just because they have a fucking phone in their hand, like dude, there was one time. Have you ever like if someone was doing something that you were like, huh, that's kind of weird. Have you ever whipped out your phone and like recorded them?
no.
No. Okay, well, I did it once, and
I got
I
a funny
felt like
story after
such a
this.
fucking scumbag after, dude. Like, cause like we're I think it was opening day or something a few years ago, and there was someone like belligerently drunk, and like their friend was like taking care of them. They were just fucking puking on the side of the fucking street, and I was across the street, dude, and I
You
was like,
whipped
all
your
right, let me
phone
get
out.
this fucking, and I'm like filming it, and they looked right at me, and I'm like. I
Damn, now
feel
I
like
feel
this. I feel like such a fucking douchebag right now.
bro. So last year, me and my boy, we went. He's a Seahawks fan. We went to the Falcons Seahawks game. Right, they're playing in Atlanta. We're in downtown. I don't know if you've ever been in downtown Atlanta. Don't recommend at any point in time. You're gonna see some wild
I
shit.
drove through it once.
Yeah,
I drove through it.
you're gonna see some wild shit. So we're finding somewhere to park, and we're in downtown, going to different parking garages to see. Oh no, this one's full. You got to go to another one, whatever.
Hmm.
We're in like a four-way at a red light. I look over, and my boy has his phone like over me because he's driving over me, and he's like, "Dude, look." I look,
Look,
and there's this
there's this
big hoochie mama
big
looking bitch,
look.
pants at her knees, just taking the shit on the sidewalk behind like a little narrow ass tree. And I'm like, yo, what? I fucking tell my yeah. He pointed. He said, bro, look. I look, and she had a roll of toilet paper with her, so obviously she came prepared. So she's
Yeah,
fucking pants by her knees taking a squat. I look over, bro's got his phone out taking pictures. I'm like, you fucking nut.
dude. So, um, I mentioned I'm golfing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, we had gone over to the west side of the state. There's in Michigan. There's an area Torch Lake.
Mm.
It's like the second or third clearest lake in like I think it's the clearest lake in the United States, but it's also like one of the clearest lakes in the world. I don't want to like overhype it, but it is like a crazy, like it looks like ocean water. It's unbelievable. It's nuts. And they have a sandbar there where like, you know, you can go out there pretty much daily and party, or there's people out there with their pontoons, boats, whatever. So I have a buddy who's a police officer up there that way. So we used to do like a guys trip, you know, once a year, and go out on to the lake and you know party it up and drink and stuff. And so we were, you know, we were there drinking all day. You know, you get there, you know, you get out there at like 9:30, 10 o'clock to get a spot. And then, you know, by noon it's starting to get packed, and like it's an all day thing, man. And it's every day. Like we've gone during the week as well, and there's people out there. So anyway, um we're all fucked up and we're leaving, and we got two cars, and one of my buddies has stomach issues, right? And so do I, you know, like I just like, you know, certain things don't mix with me, right? So he's in the other car, I'm in one car and he's in the other. We got like, you know, 10 12 guys, and we're driving back to his place. Well, he tells his brother to pull over. He's like, dude, you got to pull over right like now. And so he pulls over, and it happens to be right next to a golf course, right next to people teeing off, probably about 20 to 30 yards away. So like you definitely can see the fucking person's face, right? Well, he gets out of the car, turns around, drops his pants, spreads his cheeks, and fucking just projectile shits like while these people are fucking teeing off. Like, can you imagine? Like, and then he just fucking after he just pulls up his shit and then just fucking goes back in the car. And like, imagine just seeing that. Like, you and your boys are out golfing, and like this fucking van or whatever pulls up, and you're like, huh? And this guy gets out, and then he just fucking takes a massive shit, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
That's
So,
so funny.
I hope I don't see that on Sunday.
Dog. They're like, oh, they're pulling a what the fuck's it? Oh, someone,
Oh, yeah, turn away.
bro just took a projectile. Shit is insane.
We need the ball cleaner like now. So, but yeah, dude,
That's fucking
you know,
nuts.
just crazy shit happening.
Yeah, dude.
No pun intended.
That's one
But
crazy shit.
but yeah, dude.
Oh,
So what else? What else
man.
to kind of before we wrap up this show? We got like 8 minutes left.
I mean,
This show's been flying by, man. We like I was expecting to talk about the Knicks and the you know,
now we're talking about projectile shit.
yeah, the choke job that, you know, I mean, I said one choke job, a little like, you know, 7-year-old or however old he was tried to choke me out, just like the Knicks got, you know, choked out.
That's so funny. I was gonna say because game 2 is tonight, and once again, I'm not saying if the Knicks fall down 0-2, it's over, but it's gonna be a tough hill to climb going in Indy, in which, you know,
Oh yeah, 100%.
the rivalry is already, you know, crazy rowdy. We can do Nerfies since we haven't done them.
Oh yeah, Nerfy.
2 days.
Do you have a Nerfy today? I gotta check. I didn't...
Give me the Padres and the Braves. It is Nick Pavetta going against Chris Sale. Sale has a 3.62 ERA. Pavetta has a 2.86. Nick Pavetta against this Braves lineup is he's giving up a 254 batting average, 104 for 410, 91 K, 16 home runs. Chris Sale is allowing a .172 batting average, 20 for 116, 37 Ks, and my bad, 3 home runs. 37 Ks, 1 home run. Oh, and I don't know if you saw this, but apparently Ronald Acuna is supposed to make his debut either today or tomorrow, from something that I read on the interweb.
Nice. There's a lot of good Nerfy opportunities here today.
Dude, there's so many good ones.
There's a lot of ones that I would because I base my nerfies off of the starting pitcher's ERA.
Yeah,
So,
the two.
and my rule is if it's under 4, by both pitchers, you can nerfy it up.
Mhm,
So, I am gonna go with the Pirates and the Brewers.
mhm,
I'm guessing the juice isn't probably there. It's probably at a minus 140. Um, but it's Freddie Peralta, who's got a 5-3 record, which records don't matter, but he's got a 2.59 ERA
mhm.
against a Pittsburgh offense who, they're 17-34. So how good can their offense be? And they got Don Kelly Baby as their manager, but Paul Skeens is going. Paul Skeens should be able to get through the
Mhm.
first inning. He's got a 2.44 ERA. His record is 3-5. So hopefully he just strikes out the side and makes it no drama for your mama.
To back yours, Peralta against the Pittsburgh order, a 1 point no a point 191 batting average, 59 for 309, 98 Ks and 7 home runs. And Paul Skeens against these Brewers batters, 0 for 21, 11 Ks, no home runs. So to these Milwaukee Brewers, none of them have a single hit on Paul Skeens yet.
Um, I don't think I asked you the question you asked me at the beginning. What's your grill choice and side dish for a barbecue?
Oh, dude, if a, a good brat, I'm bought in. If it's slow cooked, give me some brisket. Give me some
Hmm.
underrated, some fucking smoked chicken. If done right, this shit's really fucking smack. And then for a side, unpopular opinion, for as dope as mac and cheese is, it can be really hit or miss depending upon who makes it.
Love
However,
this.
I like coleslaw and like potato
Ugh.
salad.
Uh,
But once again, that's for a number one. It would probably be mac and cheese. But two underrated things, I like coleslaw.
the coleslaw, like I always just picture coleslaw just sitting out in the sun
With
and like
flies
flies
around.
being out. Yeah, like that's like the picture that I get from coleslaw. So like
Yeah,
that's but
I fuck with
for the brat,
coleslaw.
is it just a straight up brat, or is it like some jalapeno or
Oh,
or cheddar
it,
or
it, it it's gotta have some kind of spice in it because I don't like hot.
yeah.
I like spicy. There's two different fucking
Yeah.
things. I like when there's a bit of I like it when it bites back, not when it's burning my fucking nuts off. That shit, like, dude. I don't know if you've ever tried the like the blazing wings from Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
My friends used to do like the blazing challenge like all the time, and like I'm like, dude, like not only like not, I'll try a wing, but do you understand what that's gonna do to my stomach?
Dude, I
Like
remember,
I
I remember the first time I ever went to B Dubs. I got like 20 boneless. I said, let me get half whatever, and then let me get half blazing. They were like, now, sir, we do have to warn you, it is extremely high. I said, psh, I bet it ain't even all that. Just go put him in there. He's like, okay, sir. And so he fucking sits him down. The second he sits the fuckers down, hits mine, I was like, oh, I made a mistake. And I fucking ate one dog. I'm fucking crying. I got snot coming out of my nose. I'm fucking.
did
It's
you
like
have boneless or did you have traditional?
I had boneless for my
Okay,
first time, and
so
then and then what's even more funny, so like my mom and sister go to the bathroom. One, I see a couple late waiters over there, kiki and laughing, and they come over and, sir, do you need some milk? No, I don't need no damn milk. I'm good. And then this other
yeah,
time, oh, continue.
so no, but for that, like the because I prefer traditional wings
Yeah.
over, but like I hate having sauce on my hands. So like I
Uh
literally
huh.
have to like wipe my hands after almost every bite because I hate like it just so like for some reason it's like a gross thing to me when
Yeah.
people have and when people lick their fucking fingers with the sauce, even more grosses me out.
Yeah.
But uh my girlfriend got we went to a slider place, like a gourmet slider place, and
Yeah.
she got like this 911, I think it's called, like the 911 slider. And cause she likes spicy shit, dude. She took one bite of it, and like the waitress even sat there and waited because she's like, I always like to see like
Their
their react,
face.
and like, dude, this shit was so fucking spicy and hot. Like she just like was like I don't know if I can finish. Like this is
Yeah, it's hot.
unreal, like, how much spice this shit had on it.
And then this other time, me and my boy, when B Dubs did like their first go round of like the all you can eat stuff,
Hmm.
we went in for. I was like, dude, for our last, whatever. He's never had he's never had blazing, so I'm like, let's just get blazing, just thug it out. And so he took a bite and was like, oh, this ain't even like that. And then pointed at the menu, was like, the hot on there is actually hotter than the blazing. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, give it a minute. He takes the bite, sets one down, looking around, looking at the TVs. And in my head I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2. I just see his eyes go, fuck, and then just grab his drink and he said, it's fucking hot. And then
Yeah, dude.
he fucking put it down. I was like, who eats this shit?
Yeah, if I would do that, man, I would end up like Harry Dunn in Dumb and Dumber, dude. Like just you know,
Dude,
fucking screaming my brains out, and my luck, it would be a broken toilet, and then I'd have to get rid of it
I've seen
somehow.
I've seen so many videos on TikToks of people like doing it and then just going outside and just screaming ah, and just throwing up because their fucking stomach can't take it.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
But yeah, man, we got like I said, we got a 3-day weekend.
Mm.
We are actually gonna be back on Tuesday next week. We're gonna give, ourselves the Memorial Day holiday to kind of relax. So we next week will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Mm.
So check us out on Tuesday. Um, again, our show is presented to you by New Leaf News. Go to newleafnews.network or .com. Both will take you to the same great site. The last couple days, we've had some great fucking content. We've kind of knocked it out of the park the last couple days as far as getting stuff out there, and for our small but efficient team and quality team, we put some good shit out there, man. I didn't know fucking Pac-Man turned 45 yesterday. And so now you can read all about it. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're on our YouTube. Subscribe, like. If you can't check us out live, we're live at 7:30 on, usually Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Like I said, next week will be Tuesday because of the holiday. But if you can't catch us right away, check us out, when you can. Our show is as timeless as Tony Storm. Um, so, we have those days. Check out my other show at 64-Bit Legends, wherever you can get podcasts, on Instagram, on X. We got a little bit of an announcement probably in the next week or so that people should be excited about. And we will be hyping that up as well. Check me out at Bobby Kaboose, again, on X, on Instagram. I'm writing articles, doing the show, doing the 64-bit thing. And check out Lawson. He's got great betting articles, a lot of sports stuff. We're trying to get him to branch out into other stuff that he's not so comfortable with. But he's at Lawson _1226. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. His birthday is 7 months away. He's got an Amazon wish list that grows by the day. So let's try to clear that out. I'm not going to buy him anything, but you can.
Jackass.
I'm still trying to get you some gifts.
Hey man,
They
I
got
appreciate
7 months to prepare. And especially when they got that Christmas budget, dude. Like your birthday is very untimely.
Very untimely.
But check him out on Instagram, on X. His articles are great, and he knows what he's talking about when he comes to numbers and sports ball. So other than that, man, if you want to take us out, I think I covered everything, right?
Yeah, we hit Nerfies, we did all that jazz. So
Yeah.
we
Oh
think,
yeah, what's the record on a Nerfie?
huh?
I'm 3-3. I'm 3-3. I'm giving people the Nerfie,
There we
I
go.
believe.
We love that. Well,
do you know what your record is? I'm trying to get above 500.
let me pull up my notes because I think last time I checked I was 3-2. Let me notes it up. Notes. Where the fuck are my?
You should have 6.
I thought I had my notes on my
Unless the
fucking.
game,
Huh?
unless the game got like rained out or something.
I'm 3-3, looking to be 3-4. So we're both 3-3, looking to get above 500. Nice. We love that.
Oh, you're you're looking to be 3-4.
No, I'm looking to be 4-3.
You said 3-4, but anyway.
Oh, I said 3.
You're trying so I don't know about that pick anymore because you're trying to give the people a loser.
I'm 3-3. God damn it, looking to be 4-3. Don't want to be
You almost did it again. You're trying to give the people a losing
Shut the
set.
fuck up. We are signing out, as always, for New Leaf News and the Legends Clubhouse. I'm Lawson Turner. That's Bobby Kaboose. We hope you enjoy your weekend and your Memorial Day, and we will see you guys Tuesday morning at 7:30 sharp. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys later. Peace.